Hey, Bunker Lambs. Welcome to the All In campaign. I am Liz Marion, your digital community manager. And today I am joined by one of our kind of original, actually veteran entrepreneurs, Magut. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So first, Magut, I'm actually going to have you say your full name and introduce yourself and your company to our early stage entrepreneurs.
My name is Kipkosgei Magut, and I am with the Nashville chapter of Bunker Labs, and I was with the program last year. It was an awesome program, I would say. Blake and his leadership were just phenomenal. The group was just amazing. I couldn't speak much. Like, it's just like, there's a lot of good things that I could say about that. And my company is Zylion. We are building a web application that will help businesses to onboard and process payments to vendors and independent contractors easily and securely.
That's awesome. And I know that you probably have some input about what is going on now amidst COVID and as we're responding as part of our All In campaign. What has changed for your company, and has it changed how you're approaching customers or your messaging, or how you're approaching the solutions that you're bringing to companies?
I think there's a lot of things that are going to happen because at this point we're still building. So some of the challenges that we are facing is just having to work with my team remotely. I'm kind of like a in-person, kind of like face-to-face kind of person. And so that has become quite a bit of an adjustment for us being able to communicate through Zoom or whatever platforms that we're using. And being able to make sure that we are hitting all the timelines that we have or that we've placed to deliver. And so that's one of the things that has changed. The other things that right now, because we're hoping to complete our application within the next month and a half. And so we are having, we emailing customers, potential customers. And so we're thinking that most of these things we're going to have to do like the demos online. Which is also going to be challenging to do those demos online for some of the companies we've scheduled demos with. But we think that we can still make things happen that way. Again, like I said, I'm a face-to-face kind of person, so we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of other things we've been doing in terms of like being able to engage with the community and also being able to, like as a company, help. One of the things that I did about a month and a half ago, Nashville, as you might understand, got hit hard by the tornado. And then it was like 2 weeks after that, we had, lockdown just due to COVID-19. And so in partnership with a number of nonprofits and companies in Nashville, Zylion was able to raise about $2,000, actually about $2,300, just a little bit over that, to help with the response of the tornadoes and also COVID-19. So that was a pretty good thing for us to be able to participate in, even with the lockdown. Right now, we also, I would say 4 weeks ago, just being originally from Kenya and having communicated with some companies in Kenya, one of the other responses that we are helping with is we've launched an initiative called Sue for Life. And we've done this in partnership with about 4 other companies like nonprofits and Kenyans in the diaspora here in Nashville. And so we think that we can leverage our technology for Sue for Life in terms of like being able to onboard tailors and all that. And so the way Sue for Life works is it's an initiative geared towards hiring tailors in Kenya to help make masks for people that cannot afford them. And so our goal is to make 1 million masks for folks that cannot buy or purchase masks in Kenya. And so majority of people, well, not majority, there are many people in Kenya that live in closely congested areas, such as slums, and also like refugees that are, if, God forbid, COVID-19 takes hold in those places, that could be like very, very significant because, you have people that are living in a house, sleeping on the ground, 8 people in a house. And so we are trying our best to kind of like partner with these organizations here in Asheville to help, make the mask so that we can mitigate on the spread.
I really like that input. Also, just giving back to your community in a global sense, honestly,
Yeah.
not just local, but being able to give a global give back, but also, just appreciative of the perspective, of the global perspective of that, of, the culture and living conditions, around the world that are kind of preventing social distancing, which might be easier in the United States where, in certain places the density isn't as such. Very interesting. And also, for a company that is, that is focused around other companies and providing services for other organizations, for you, what are you learning about these other companies as you're, talking to potential customers that you didn't think about maybe before, or that your, your app is going to be able to provide a solution for that might have changed during COVID?
Yeah. So for example, like I said before, like our application is not mainly to help businesses to onboard independent contractors and process payment to vendors, and vendors and independent contractors. And what we learned, we started Sue for Life initiative, like solely with the goal of making masks for Kenyans. And 2 or 3 weeks in, I was talking to my team and I was like, wait a minute, like this is exactly what our technology could help with. And so like we could help like Sue for Life with onboarding those tailors and processing payments to those tailors. So like the tailors are in a contract that's to Sue for Life. And so like it kind of like seemed like one of these things that you're like, hey, we're gonna go out and do some good. And then you're like, wait a minute, like actually like we could use our technology leverage so what we've built for this. And so sometimes it's like, entrepreneurs get stuck in like, I gotta follow my path, I'm gonna stick with this. But it's like, hey, sometimes it's good to do some good and you never know what comes out of that. Like you just have to like have that heart of like being able to help, like jump in, like to help with the community. There's always other things that, like without expecting a thing, right? Basically like you just gotta go out there and help. And one of the other things that I would say actually that has resulted from just us going out is the outpouring support that I've gotten from some of the cohort members. So I emailed a couple of them this morning, and like Stash, which is one of the companies here, said that they just jumped in and were like, we can like help you like get some really good support from our community by also doing something like putting the campaign on our platform. And CrowdCrunch is another group. I think they have a different name now that have also come out and supported our mission. Ironside is another local company. I mean, it's just like I can keep saying the names, right? A bunch of these guys have just like jumped in. That's the cool thing about Bunker and the cohort is like, you just put out a word and they're like, yeah, hey man, we got your back, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I love that part of the community. And if you did miss it, I will say that we actually did also interview the founder of Stash. You can catch his interview on the same platform.
Oh, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Anderson was on here as well. So
he's awesome. He's awesome.
He is. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We talked about his logo and things too, which if you haven't checked it out, I would. It's pretty funny. So Megan, before we, wrap up here, I do want to get your advice for our early stage entrepreneurs that maybe haven't gone through veterans in residence yet. We do have another cohort starting soon and things. So what would be your advice for them to continue to move their business forward right now, especially, with the uncertainty surrounding things?
Again, I think it's just a matter of like, Blake, there are a couple of things that, Blake says is like dot connecting, you got to keep talking to people. It could be via Zoom or it could be via whatever, like just keep talking to people, keep trying to partner and just don't always think in terms of what is in it for me. Like just think about like, okay, how can my business help right now at this time of need, right? Because there's a lot of people that don't have food, that have lost jobs and need help. There's a lot of people that, they've lost their loved ones. And so it's not just always about me, like my company, right? It's always about like, it's better to just go out there and start helping and figuring ways that you can leverage whatever you have with your company to start helping people. And, that might involve, a day of changing if you're a technology company, like just a slight pivoting of your technology to help people. And that could be something that will help your company move from possibly not being successful to like getting a different trajectory, right? So I think that
Absolutely.
you got to think, I guess the advice I would say is think outside the box and dot connecting, and just always think in terms of what can I do for the other person.
Absolutely. I love that. And so lastly, before we wrap it up, what can our community do for you, do for Zylion? What can we do to spread the word and support your company?
Yeah, I mean, like anybody that can, listen to this, I would say go to, we're running this through Facebook fundraiser, and we've partnered with a company called, or like a nonprofit called the Addis Clinic. So I guess I could send you a link. I don't know how you would include it in this, because we're trying to raise a pretty big amount of money to do this. And like, look, everybody's struggling right now. So I've been telling people $10 for 10 masks. That's all we need. Like you don't have to. I mean, if you want to give us $1 million, we're not gonna refuse. But $10 for 10 masks and share it with a friend. That's what the community could do, because that will change. That will significantly change people's lives, right? And just for stats purposes, right? This is, you think of it like Africa, 43% of Africa, or population of Africa live in densely populated, like not properly situated like housing, right? So that is the group, like if COVID-19, God forbid, takes hold, that's the huge population to get affected. That's why we're kind of like trying to go into this and try and help whatever we can.
Absolutely. And I will drop the link in the comments below, but it will also be in the description of this interview. I'll make sure that I get that. Magut, thank you so much for being here, for sharing with our community, for being part of our Veterans and Residents family, and also, sharing with how we can help you. And remember, to visit his website, and also to visit the cause that they are having to make masks for Kenyans that are living in highly densely populated areas. So that link will be below. Magut, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.